did resolve it.
We keep talking about it.
Wait, did we?
I don't know. You stopped teaching on Saturday. Oh my god! I feel like we're gonna have this conversation again in the future.
Hello, hola, it's Yonny and Kayla. Hola, hello from the DR of Buffalo.
Is it normal to argue?
Is it normal?
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
In the beginning of our relationship, we argued, not a lot, but we would argue. There were times when we would get loud, and there were times when we would shout, and there were times when we would get really mad. You would punch a pillow.
Well, yeah.
I feel like it was just normal.
Yeah, because we didn't know, like...
We didn't think much about it. That's just what naturally was happening. That was our natural reaction, or our natural response.
Yeah, which happened in most of the couples.
Yes. And I feel like you've been around just arguing and shouting your whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people too. That's just normal. And then one day I remember I watched the video on YouTube, and there's a Christian woman, and she was talking about how arguing is not normal for Christians. And she was suggesting that her and her husband could get to a place where they would not argue ever. That was their goal, was not to argue at all. Yes, there would be conflict. Yes, they would disagree, but they wouldn't argue or fight about it. And that made me think. So I was kind of thinking about it from that point on. Is it possible?
Is it?
And also I was realizing that if Mariano was getting louder when he was talking, I was listening less. It wasn't making me listen to you more. Like, the louder you would get, the less I would listen, and I would just get mad. And I would, like, shrink into a little shell. I don't know. I just didn't like it when you got loud.
Well, yeah.
And you don't like when I get loud either.
No, less. I would shout because I was not feeling hurt. And obviously I was not being hurt.
Yeah.
I was not being hurt because I was shouting. So, while more I shout, my expectation was that Kayla listened to me and also make her understand that I am the man. Like, she needs to respect me. I mean, I was looking for the respect in a really, really wrong way. And that was pride, you know. And by the time we talked, because we talked about it.
Like, after we both calmed down.
We both calmed down, of course, like, we took each other time, separated. We separated each other, and we did the time by ourselves. So, and then when we joined back again, we talk about, I had to learn to listen. By learning to listen, and how could I do that? I needed to talk to myself first, and see myself first, and I was seeing what was going on inside me, and what I was feeling was pride. I was not listening to her.
Well, I wasn't either. We were both.
Well, yeah, but I needed to listen to you, and you needed to listen to me. I mean, yes. But for that, I really had to push my pride down. I don't know what other word to say. Like, push it down and calm down myself. And as Christians we are, the Holy Spirit is inside us, and He reminds us what we should do in those moments when we are, like, dealing with bad feelings like that, especially with pride. So yeah, I thought in myself, and I was seeing in myself, and all what I was seeing was pride. And I realized that the Holy Spirit made me realize that I was being prideful, and that I had to push that down so I could listen and pay attention to what was going on.
And then over time, after the year and a half that we've been married now, I started realizing that we were having similar arguments. I was saying the same thing over and over and over again.
And
Every time we would have an argument or a disagreement about something, and the repetition was like driving me crazy. It was like after 3 times, I'd be like, I said this 3 times already, but like nothing was ever resolved. And I was just repeating myself, and I felt like a broken record, and it was driving me insane. And I don't understand how couples can have the same argument their entire lives.
over and over again. And
I would lose my mind.
well, yeah, and actually, it's not. It doesn't stay there. It get worse.
It does.
Yeah, because like they do the same thing. They argue, but it gets worse because more things are coming to their life, and more things are going up. And I mean,
I think ours were getting worse.
yeah, of course it were. Yeah, it was getting worse.
And so that was my next question. How do we stop doing this over and over and over again?
There's the word that I wanted to say. Cycle. Ah, there it is. Look.
It drives me crazy. Crazy
yeah.
cycle.
Without love, she reacts.
Yeah.
Without respect,
You react. But then you stop giving me love, so
Yeah.
then I react. And
yeah,
I don't respect you.
yeah, that would happen.
The crazy cycle.
Love and respect.
And these are one of the very few books that are in Spanish and English.
Yep,
We're still reading it though.
yep,
But we recommend it so far.
yep. I know that we are a really young couple. Young?
Yeah.
Young. You're a really young couple, and we will keep learning. And our purpose, I mean, we are putting purposes in our life. We are putting goals.
Yeah. After the repetition, I was asking myself in my head, what are we even fighting or arguing about? What is it really? Because, for example, the hot water switch. I turned off the hot water switch. 2 hours later, you expected it to be on still 2 hours later, and then you got mad. But we weren't really arguing about the hot water switch, and then you came and apologized after, and you were saying that's just what everyone does.
Yeah, everyone does, yeah.
If an adult sees a little kid who's doing something wrong or doing something they're not supposed to, they just yell at them.
Yeah, they just yell at them. Oh, yeah. If someone, like, when I was little, and with the family who I grew up, they were like that. Everyone was like that. Even my friends' parents and everyone. Like, if they do something or do something wrong, they didn't mean it. The first thing that everyone does, every parent, just yell. I mean, I'm talking about the area where I was, where I grew up. Yeah, that was a reaction that just came out, and then I remember.
Yeah. And so we have found, I think there's 3 reasons that we argue. Not the light switch, not like food. We had several arguments about food when we were dating. Do you remember those?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
about food. But really, like, the cause of it is either something in our past, or there's something you're not communicating to me, or I'm not communicating to you.
And then I realized it.
Or it's hurt. One of us is hurt, and then we start arguing.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the 3 main causes, or roots, like, of our argument.
Yeah.
We started acknowledging our feelings behind the anger.
Mm-hmm.
And we watched that video about the pastor. He was talking about how anger is a mask, or it's a shadow, and there's always something behind it.
Yes.
Or like a feeling behind the anger. Anger's not really a feeling, it's a reaction.
It's just a reaction. It's just a shadow of what is really going on.
Yeah.
So for resolving the problem or we need to stop um, during the anger, which is really hard.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what kind of shadow is that. Man. It's really hard. It's really strong because all what there is when you're angry is pride. You just want what you want, and this is it. If you don't have what you want, then you don't want anything. You just want to keep being mad.
Yeah.
But is well, we can think. We have the Holy Spirit as Christian. The Holy Spirit tells us. He tells us what to do.
And another thing that I've started asking myself and you is this normal? Is this a normal Christian reaction? Or is this something I've just seen my whole life, but is it normal?
Is it?
When you don't see that the hot water switch is on, should you get so mad about that?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No,
so
of course not.
it lets me know that okay, something else is going on, and either I can ask you questions or I can just let you be with the Holy Spirit sometimes, because sometimes I just let you be, but sometimes I do ask questions.
Yeah, and both help. Both help.
Really?
Yep. Like you ask what you ask, you go direct to the point.
That's God, not me.
Well, yeah. And then I see that made me see myself. That what I was saying. I mean, if I would not push my pride because for listening to you, I need to push the pride. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's hard.
And that it is hard. But I want to be better. I want to be a better Christian, a better son of God, a better husband. If I want to be better and I don't want bad consequences in our life, then of course I need to do what I have to do. I need to listen to you. I need to listen to the Holy Spirit. I need to listen to God.
So it's taken us probably a year and a half to get to this point. Our entire marriage, where we can kind of resolve things now. Because we would have conversations and we would just kind of get tired and then we would apologize, but nothing was resolved. Like we would move on with our life, move on with our day, but we didn't really like resolve the problem. So then it would just come up again in a week or 2 weeks and it would be the same thing. So I started asking, how are we going to resolve this? What is going to change? How are we going to be different? Is there something we need to do differently in the future? How can we avoid this situation from happening again? And I just kind of started asking that. Like for the food situation, we were arguing about food because you came home Saturday, I feel like after teaching all day, and I didn't have food made because I was busy all day Saturday. And you came home and you expected food, but you didn't communicate that to me. But also, I didn't think, oh, maybe he wants food. So neither one of us were thinking about it. But then we were arguing about that.
You know what? I kind of feel like to argue a little bit because I don't like to don't find food when I get home.
But we didn't have to argue about it. It wasn't necessary. We could have just talked about it and found a solution, and it would have been so much faster.
Yeah. So, yeah, I could say, okay, babe, next time I'm just gonna call you.
Yeah.
Tell you to save food, to make food. Or not. And this is it. We move on.
Yeah. Our goal as of now, as of today, is that we will not argue or fight or shout or get loud anymore.
That is not necessary. It is not.
It isn't. Yes, we'll still have conflict. We'll still have discussions. We will disagree. But we're not going to argue about it.
Okay, we cannot say that we're gonna be like perfect from now on and say that sometimes we would like switch, you know. But then I'm sure that we are going to remember. at least one of us will be like, we promised that we were not gonna do that.
But I feel like maybe we can just watch this video in the future and it will remind us. This will be a reminder to us.
Yep. So, that's all.
This is just the first of several videos that we want to make about conflict. Why conflict is necessary,
And
but
why,
arguing is
why
not.
argument, yeah, it's not. So, this is all. Peace out. I would die by your Okay.
What was that? It was like an echo.
It's weird.
I'm doing fine. So ease your worried mind. Sit back and close your eyes. Yeah, yeah, this land is a paradise. And the people are so very nice. I'm happier than I've ever been in my